The newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Cessna 340 plane that went missing in Albay on Saturday has finally been found. The search and rescue team has positively confirmed the plane's wreckage location. The crash site is at the west side slope of the Mayon volcano at the elevation of 3,500 to 4,000 feet. The wreckage was identified through a high-resolution camera. However, the condition of the crew and passengers are not yet known, with the exact site yet to be reached by rescuers. They are looking for the Cessna 340 and attempted to go to the crash site 3 times but failed due to bad weather. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla has unsolicited legal advice for the camp of detained former Senator Laila De Lima. Remulla says that De Lima's lawyers can file a writ of habeas corpus petition, promising that state prosecutors will not object to it. A writ of habeas corpus is a remedy applicable to cases of illegal confinement or detention.
Probably they should petition for habeas corpus and explain their case to the courts. We will not object. I'm not objecting personally, no, to any plea that will free anybody from jail. But syempre, this is something better discussed in court. It is a power left to the judges to decide, and even to the higher courts if need be, if they want to go to the higher courts. Sa akin, all of us have our means of defending ourselves.
And the Philippine Army has completed its investigation into the case against former Presidential Security Group Chief Brigadier General Jesus Durante III. In an interview with the chiefs, Army Provost Marshal Colonel Randy Remonte said that the report is now under legal review by the Office of the Army Judge Advocate. It will be forwarded to the Commanding General for decision after the review. Durante and 6 other soldiers are facing civil and criminal complaints, as well as court-martial proceedings. That's after being tagged in the killing of model and businesswoman Yvonne Chua Plaza in Davao City late last year.
I would like to state that the final form of the charges that may be filed against our personnel will still depend on the review of the investigation report that has been completed by my office to be approved by the Commanding General of the Philippine Army.
In other news, Germany is backing the Philippines after the laser pointing incident with China in the disputed waters on February 6. German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock said that international laws should be followed in the South China Sea. The Marcos administration has protested China's use of a military-grade laser on a Philippine Coast Guard vessel off the Ayungin Shoal, saying the area is part of the country's 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone.
In these challenging times, it is even more important that countries that foreign ministers of countries that do not meet on a regular basis because they're so far apart in geographic terms, nevertheless engage and talk about important matters. Your beautiful country finds itself in a region with dangerous geopolitical tensions that might explode at any given moment. And what that means in practical terms was illustrated recently during an incident involving a Chinese military-grade laser.
In relation to that, Philippine Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo revealed that the laser pointing incident is just one of the many cases of harassment involving Chinese personnel.
There are daily incidents, at least as far as we see it, of cases of harassment or land reclamation, which in many cases have been depriving the Philippines of the use of our exclusive economic zone.
This year's Balikatan exercises with the United States is expected to be the biggest ever. Army Commanding General Romeo Browner told the chiefs that it will include new components like electronic warfare. He did clarify, though, that the military training involving Filipino and American troops is not intended to provoke China. The details of the drills will not be shared with Beijing.
Electronic warfare will also be part of the exercises. In other words, ito pong yung gagawin nating exercise will not just be confined to purely combat. In fact, a big part of it, as I said, would still be the humanitarian assistance and disaster response.
More stories still to come after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Philippine National Railway, or PNR, clarifies that it will only implement a partial shutdown of operations in the coming months. PNR operations from Alabang to Calamba and Bicutan to Alabang could be halted by May. In October, trips from Tutuban to Bicutan, Tutuban to Alabang, and Governor Pascual to Tutuban will also be suspended. These suspensions are to give way to the construction of the North-South Commuter Railway project. PNR is already in talks with the LTFRB for the deployment of special bus and jeepney routes to cater to passengers who will be affected by the shutdowns.
Tuloy-tuloy po ang ating konsultasyon po sa LTFRB, yung jeepney routes po na para sa mga pasahero po, as well as kung kinakailangan po, special bus routes po para sa mga pasahero. At pagkatapos po nitong konsultasyon natin po sa LTFRB, susunod po yung mga konsultasyon din natin sa mga local government unit at saka sa MMDA po.
And Senator Lauren Legarda says that the government is not prepared to join the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP. Legarda, who sponsored the bill, still finds the trade deal lacking, even as negotiations for the RCEP have gone on for more than a decade. Because of this, the Senate included a provision of an oversight committee to make sure that the local agriculture sector will not suffer once the Philippines joins the trade deal.
Sabihin ko totoo, hindi ako kontento. Pero kailangan natin pasukin para wag tayo maiwanan. I'm taking that big leap of faith, so to speak, so that we can go along with the other ASEAN nations, our neighbor Indonesia, big country, as well as Myanmar and Laos. Huwag naman tayong mangusan pa ng ibang bansa kung hindi tayo makasama sa RCEP na ito.
Meanwhile, the American Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines is backing the ratification of the RCEP. The group says that the country cannot afford to leave itself out of the bloc, as the trade deal can help with economic recovery after the pandemic. The AmCham also believes that the RCEP will encourage more foreign direct investments and hence generate more jobs for Filipinos. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. A new magnitude 6.4 earthquake shook the already battered nations of Turkey and Syria. The tremor left 3 people dead and 200 injured in some parts of Turkey. In Syria, over 130 injuries were reported. Both nations are still reeling from a magnitude 7.8 earthquake that struck 2 weeks ago, which has left tens of thousands dead, injured, or homeless. Davao del Norte Representative Pantaleon Alvarez is pushing for the delisting of cannabis as a dangerous drug. The former House Speaker cited the legal selling of alcoholic beverages, cigarettes, and sugary drinks. He pointed out that cannabis is less harmful. Alvarez also said that billions in tax revenue can be collected from the production and sale of cannabis. And 7 out of 10 Catholics pray at least once a day, according to a social weather station survey. That's 35% of the 1,200 total respondents of the poll. Meanwhile, 34% said that they pray once a day, while 10% said that they pray several times a week. The survey was released ahead of Ash Wednesday tomorrow, which ushers in the Lenten season. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.